Welcome to our channel, Gray Matters. We are two neurodivergent ladies who fixate and need to share, and we've created this channel to do just that. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our channel. We're here to do another one of our little conversation videos where we chat through some stuff together. And we wanted to talk about something that JP mentioned, I think, to you and then also to both of us. About kind of his future plans, maybe?
And this is something he mentioned to me
Yeah.
twice. It mentioned to both of us once. And I now realize that anything he mentioned to me was definitely information that he wanted to have released, to have
He did,
out
again,
there.
we've mentioned this before, but he told us, he told you multiple times, and he told me whatever he talked to us about, we could talk about.
Yeah, he was very clear about that. So this was very interesting. When he spoke to us and to me, he made a point to let me know that he was in talks with Universal production company, I assume.
What if it's not? What if he's just talking to the universe?
Is that bigger or smaller? I don't know. And yeah, he specifically said Universal every time. So what does that all mean?
So it could mean a couple things, I think. If he's planning on selling the rights to this story or his life for some sort of film, or correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I don't think Universal does documentaries so much, or like docu-series. It's not like he's talking to Netflix about a series about this case or anything. So it feels like what he was trying to say to us is they're going to make a movie or a show, a TV show out of this story.
Well, and then we talked about so if he makes it out of this story, well, there's something interesting. There's laws out there so that people cannot make money based on like their criminal
they
acts.
can't it's that they can't profit off their crime.
Okay, so and they call them the Son of Sam laws because I don't even know, David Berkowitz,
The Son of Sam killer in the 70s, I think. He was, after he was convicted, there were lots of offers to him to sell the rights to his story, and he shouldn't make money off of his acts of murdering people. And so I think you said they're primarily state laws. So New York State then blocked that from happening.
Yeah, and New York was I think the first. Like New York was it. But then there was a lot of questions. I mean, I think it went to the Supreme Court about First Amendment rights, and it went back and forth. And in the end, what I found is that it became definitely a state issue. And so each state kind of has their own laws around it. But you are never going to guess which state doesn't. So there's 7 states that have no Son of Sam laws of any sort. I won't list them all, but as you can probably guess, North and South Carolina are both on that list.
Yep.
So. It was one of those things when I looked up, I'm like, I know the answer before right? I even see it.
But I don't think that this would fall under that because he's not been convicted of anything. Well, then, this just occurred to me. So, do you remember when O.J. Simpson wrote the book If I Did It, and the Ron Goldman's family, I think, sued him? And I think I'm very likely wrong. I'm just pulling this out of my brain somewhere. Um, I believe they got at least a portion of the proceeds of the book, and in some sort of deal they made it so the word if is like the small, like so small, and it just says I did it by OJ Simpson. But he wasn't so I don't, that's probably a weird outlier because I think civilly he was found responsible, but I don't know that the son of Sam laws covers civil guilt. So it was like,
I
yeah,
would guess
so
not.
I don't know, but that just came to mind that he probably did make money off of it, but I
Uh,
think it had to go to paying the settlement to the Goldman family.
okay. So, all right, again, like it all sort of
Yeah.
starts feeding together, right? So, I would think if he really wanted to make a good amount of money on this, that would be selling his full rights probably to
That's what I
his
think
life
too.
story, which it's probably a very interesting life story when we go back to everything that happened with his
Yeah.
father.
But it would be completely his side of it. Like, I can't imagine any of the bad things that have been alleged would be included. It would just be probably like, good old boy has a rough childhood, and then he's accused of this heinous things and he overcame it, is my guess of like the arc of the story he would pitch.
Well, if you sell the rights, if you sell the rights to your life story, you sell it all. Like you don't you negotiate, I guess.
But he did he say to you he was selling the rights, or was it just that he's in talks with Universal?
He's in talks. I'm just thinking, I think the
Yeah.
most
Oh,
amount of
sure.
money. Because otherwise, I mean, there's a lot of documentary or docu-series out. And so those kind of documentaries, I don't kn is that I don't know if somebody sells the rights. I don't know how they get
Yeah, I
paid.
don't know either. I think once there is any sort of conviction, it almost becomes like, this is not the correct phrase for it, but like public domain that anybody can really talk about it. I don't think if a person's not in it, they're not going to get any sort of payment, even if it's about them, is my guess. Um, I think like the talking heads in documentaries will get payment. Like I think the Frankie family, who was just in the Hulu series about Ruby, Sherry, Chad, and Kevin, probably got pretty big payouts, or payments, I should say. Um, but I don't think Ruby would get any payment, even though it's her. I guess I don't know. It's her. What happened with her? I don't even want to say it's what happened to her. It's what she caused to happen. um, so I don't super know how that works, but I don't think that's what he's talking about. I don't think it would be a documentary series.
I don't doubt there will be
Yeah.
those docuseries, but yeah, I don't think that's exactly what he was talking about. And if you do sell, like, the rights to a true crime story, you can make tens of
Oh
thousands
yeah.
to
Yeah.
millions of dollars. Let's get to the worst
Okay.
case scenario here. Let's say, that JP has negotiated immunity with, I don't know, government, we'll
Yeah.
call it the FBI. When you have immunity, you have to 100% tell them everything and 100% tell them the
Right.
truth. Um, and I am going to say, from my conversations with him, he continually told me he was honest and telling me the truth. Now, I know a lot of people said, don't believe that. So when I say he said he was saying the truth, that didn't include he was not saying things with a kernel of truth or lying by
Yeah.
omission. Um, eh, so, but he was very clear over and over and over again that he was saying the truth, which would be important, very important, if you had an immunity agreement.
I also think he thinks he's smarter than everybody. And that
Yeah. Definitely
And
thought he's
well,
smarter than
even
me.
like I feel like he's a man who would be like, I could pass a lie detector, or I can say this thing to the FBI and they'll believe it. And I'm not lying. I said
Mhm.
the thing.
Mhm, mhm. I think he does a
Hmm.
lot of that, a lot of that. Um, so and that might also be important, if he was negotiating, the
Yeah.
rights to his story, that again, he shared the truth. If somebody's gonna pay him money for the rights of a story, then it
Well,
needs
and
to be the
even that
truth.
can be, I feel like he could construe it as like the Oprah, oh, it's my truth.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. No,
Hmm.
100%. Yeah, truth from
Right.
my perspective. Truth the way I wanna
Hmm.
tell it to you. So, um, but yeah, I guess the thing is, yeah, he conceivably could get off, walk away, and be a
Yeah, that would be
multimillionaire.
worst case scenario. Yeah.
Worst case scenario. Um, I don't know. I don't think we're
Hmm.
ready for that. I mean, it can't come to all that because also we have the civil
Right.
lawsuits going. That was the other thing I thought that was interesting that he brought up.
Yeah.
Um,
It feels not like the best move because he's got all these civil lawsuits that he has been settling. He's saying they're thrown out, but they're being settled. And wouldn't any, well, civil lawsuits are seeking financial restitution for wrongdoings or crimes that maybe can't be proven in criminal court. And wouldn't any money he makes go to those?
right, because obviously, if you have
Right.
no money and nobody can get paid out for that, but by saying this, he's kind of admitting that he would have money. And also, I'm not sure how the sale of the
Right.
church went.
The other possibility is he's straight lying. Is he lying? Is he like, I can't, here's where like, even when he said it to us, it was like Universal is putting itself on the line to reaching out to somebody that pretty across the board is suspected of horrible things at the very least. I feel like it's not the best move for Universal to reach out to him to say, we'll give you all this money and you work with us to tell the story. I feel like it would make more sense to reach out to Micah's family and say, we'll work with you and give you this money. I don't necessarily buy that Universal Studios would partner itself with John Paul Miller right now at this point of everything happening.
But let's remember again the word
Right.
in talks or the
He
phrase
could have sent an
that can
email.
mean right. Right. That's what I was gonna say. Here does this come back to the whole saying he or
Yeah.
saying he doesn't lie. Yeah. In talks is a very broad statement about what could be going on. Um, and one more thing I actually thought of that when I was at his house, um, I don't this is a little not related, not necessarily related to the universal thing, but to the civil cases, is he did say, if I was doing all these things to make money, where's the money? And kind of made
Yeah.
like, the insinuation. I mean, look how I live a modest life.
Yeah.
Where is all this money?
Well, keep in mind, he doesn't even know what money laundering is.
No, no, when I asked him about money laundering, I'm like, very "What is that?" But he
Yep.
never said he wasn't
Was very
doing it.
confused about it.
Yeah. So, anyways, I just thought that was something interesting, wanted to share with
It truly,
you.
it makes more sense if he was
Obvi
shopping around a book at this point.
Mhm,
I just feel like it's like when we were on the phone that he went to the most extreme thing that he thought I would buy. It's like he went to the
mhm.
most that's where I think he went to the most extreme thing. Like I'm talking to Universal Studios and not like I'm hoping
Mhm.
to get a book deal out of this. Like that seems more reasonable, but he doesn't do reasonable. He goes to like the biggest extreme, swings for the fences.
Yeah. No, he does. And I think a lot about it is
Yeah.
distraction. So, yeah, if this came up and we were talking about this and, then we wouldn't be
Yep,
talking about other things.
exactly.
So I do think distraction could play a big
Absolutely.
role.
Let us know your thoughts. Leave some comments. Let us know what you think about the possibility that there could be a John Paul Miller feature film.
And would you
No,
go see it?
no,
And would you
not.
read the
I would
book?
read the book. I would attain it secondhand.
You work the
Exactly.
library, so you're good.
Well, I
You're
would
good
tell the
on that.
person who purchases at the library not to buy it.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks
Talk
for
to you
tuning
soon.
in. Have a great day. Leave us your
Bye.
comments.
Thank you for listening. Please comment, like, and subscribe. You can also check out our podcast, Fixate Today, Gone Tomorrow, for more content. Have anything you'd like us to fixate on? Reach out and let us know. Disclaimer. Thanks for joining us. We are not investigators, journalists, detectives, law enforcement, or historians. We are two neurodivergent ladies who just hyperfixate. Please do not take our opinions and ideas as statements of fact. All allegations are just that. We are not accusing anyone of anything, simply offering our interpretation of what we've researched.